Now we'll talk about exponents. And this is a very important concept for algebra. They show up all the time, exponents do, in algebra. Here's how to think about exponents, what they are. Multiplication, remember, can be thought of as repeated addition, while exponents can be thought of as repeated multiplication. In other words, 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, as you see here. The number 5 is used as a factor 4 times. This can be written as 5 to the 4th. And note that this is not the same thing here as 5 times 4. A lot of people repeatedly make the mistake of looking at this and interpreting it mentally as 5 times 4. That's not the case. This is 5 multiplied by itself like this, used as a factor 4 times. So in this expression, the number 5, just some terms you should know here. The number 5 is called the base, and the number 4 is called the exponent, or it's sometimes referred to as the power. So when we see this 5 with the 4 written small up here in what we call the superscript position, 5 with the 4 up there, that's read as 5 to the power of 4, or 5 to the 4th power, or sometimes you hear people just say 5 to the 4th. So that's the notation. You write the base with your exponent written up there in the superscript position, which just means smaller and raised up. And you would read that as 5 raised to the 4th power, or 5 to the power of 4, or 5 to the 4th. And remember this, that it is not 5 times 4. That's 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, which is a much bigger number than 5 times 4. Typically, raising a number to a power makes it get really big because you're multiplying and multiplying again and multiplying again as many times as that number indicates. And here are some examples. We're told to write the following in exponential notation. Note that we're not told to evaluate the following. We're not told to find a number. This 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. I see 3 used as a factor there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So this could be written as 3 to the power of 6. Over here we have 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. That's 7 to the power of 4. Now evaluate the following. 2 to the power of 5 down here. What that means is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 multiplied by itself, used as a factor 5 times. That comes out to be 32. 3 to the power of 3, that's 3 times 3 times 3. 3 multiplied by itself, and it shows up as a factor 3 times. And you should be able to do this in your head also. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 again is 27. And 7 squared, that's just 7 times 7. So the answer there is 49. Now once again, remember that exponents are not the same thing as multiplication. 4 to the power of 3 is 4 times 4 times 4. And we can work that out over here. 4 times 4 times 4. This first 4 times 4 gives us a 16. And then times 4 again. 16 times 4 is 64. 4 times 3 is simply 12. And so you see that 4 to the power of 3 is very different than 4 times 3. So again, don't confuse the two. It's common to see people mixing the two up. 4 to the power of 3 is an entirely different thing than 4 times 3.